Ugh. Okay, sorry about that. Took me a bit to get it to work. Hi, Effie. How are you tonight? That's good. Hey, Allison. Oh, I'm just couldn't come up with anything to work on. So, going to be a little bit more boring tonight, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Hi, Eric. So, I just ordered four more figures. These ones are for the story that I've been working on. Really got to do something about that mouse. Maybe I should get one of the cats and lock them up in here. Oh, there's Ron. I don't really care about Ron, though. So, what's everybody doing? So it's one of the nights when Allison doesn't really want to cook. Better than what I had, so. Eric, if you're tired, man, it's just going to get more and more boring. So you just as well go to sleep, dude. Spider senses tingle. Yep. And watching Naughty Girls. I'm also trying to load up more episodes of the series I've been listening to. So I've decided, one of the good parts about coming up with ideas for different things is you got plenty of time when you're writing one of these stories, especially a long form story, when you haven't introduced characters that are going to be very important to the story, you have the option of changing things around. And because of the fact that I'm planning on doing an action figure version of all of the characters, I looked through and I made a horrible realization, an absolutely horrible realization. Disney has not really gotten on Hasbro about Latinas being represented in Marvel Legends. And there are plenty of characters who are from Brazil, Colombia, and whatnot that are female that appear in the Marvel Universe, yet none of them seem to have action figures. The closest I found to a Latino that would work for what I'm planning when it came what I was planning when it came to the Brazil was Namor. The movie version of Namor, not the original. So it's like, what's even the point? So I switched flora and fauna around. So now the Australian is a woman and the Brazilian is a male, which actually goes against usual practices. Just like uh, I have two sets of twins that are going to be in the story. Yes, I can, but it takes a lot of watering down to be able to do that. And no, I don't really want to do it. I do have plenty of airbrush thinner. I could possibly do it, but I just don't want to try. Especially since usually when you look at Brazilian women, they are ungodly shapely. They can read that from the book, Allison. Well, I can do it in such a way. It's not like I don't have masking tape to cover the eyes. The lips, a lot of the time, I redden the lips on a female character, anyways. Give them slightly darker lips. But I got the only reason I was able to do this at all is because I got paid today. I'm taking care of my friend's animals while he's gone for a week. They gave me some money to be able to do it. So, Allison, you only owe me half of what you think you owe me. Take the other half and put it towards Disney this month. But we got two sets of twins, and me being all inclusive as I always am, I decided, well, I didn't have a because the way that the birth thing was supposed to be was that these were kind of being born as people who had mated pairs. They were born to actually love each other. Uh, I made the Chinese swear a male and a female, but I made the Norwegians both female. And you'll notice that I do that a lot with the I don't have anything against gay men. I got lots of gay friends. It's just that I don't like writing gay men because I always kind of make them a caricature of who they really should be. I mean, you'd think I wouldn't have a problem considering how many of my gay friends are actually really tough guys. I just, I always write them kind of, for lack of a better word, flaming. Lesbians are easier to write. Also, I went with Cryo being Alexi and Torrid, the one that's hot and cold, being Caroline Luna. No, I'm not going to use the word feminine because feminine is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 1980s um 1980s style. I have written gay characters that you just don't know they're gay until you find out they're with somebody else, but I approach them as just normal guys. I mean, there was a character I created for the Sadian universe whose name was Fireball. His original name was the Flaming Queer. And he was very, very much a flamboyant gay person. But that actually was intentional because he was supposed to be a caricature, anyways. But I want to show respect without damaging anything. But the ones that I've gotten so far, I bought one that I'm not sure I actually want to. Had a crush on Custodian, not in love. He basically had a thing for every male on the team, including Brute. Brute was just dumb. But I ordered Namer, Siren, who I really don't want to screw up, but I'm probably going to, Shang-Chi, and Siren. I mean, Circe. When it comes to the Eternals toy line, I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, the only character out of the whole bunch that I actually wanted was Gilgamesh. And the only way I can get that is by getting everybody in the group. So more than likely, Droog will end up as Crash Code, which is a supporting character. And there's going to be a few others. But I'll have to get that entire set so I can build Gilgamesh. Strangely enough, not only was he one of my favorite Avenger characters, but he's one of my favorite historical uh, mythological figures. I mean, he is the only character in all of history, besides one character in the Chinese pantheon, who went to hell to go rescue somebody, came back out of hell with them, looked at the world and went, you know what? I'm going back to hell. It's more exciting. Yeah, he's known as the Forgotten One amongst them. The original way they showed him was kind of stupid looking, but yeah, he's an Eternal and a Avenger in the comic books. I didn't. I thought it was boring and drawn out, and they killed Gilgamesh. So characters that literally can't die, who would be brought back to life, die. So are they going to bring him back to life in the next one, or what? Because it's not like the Celestials really care about him at all. I did finally watch What If, the third season of What If, and honestly, the bulk of the series was bad. Unlike a lot of other people, though, I liked the last two episodes, and I liked the Howard the Duck episode. Birdie is a very interesting character. I'd like to see her brought into the main universe, but that would also require them bringing Darcy in the main universe and Howard and her having a kid. Actually, the sequel has not been canceled. They are still supposed to be in the um, whatever the end of this thing, but they're supposed to be doing a follow up of Eternals to finish the story, but they aren't going to make it as an Eternal movie. No, Kevin Feige is actually very smart when it comes to the stuff like that, and he knows that there is a possibility that it could be bigger. It's just that it was not done right. Yeah, they're supposed to be playing a part in Doomsday. Secret Wars in Doomsday. But like I said, they do need to get on Hasbro about a few things. Honestly, I think they screwed up the story because that is not the Eternal story that I know and love. But the Eternals have always been boring characters because they are literally immortal. Seemingly immortal because he can heal from almost anything. But if you tie rocks around him, or put his feet in cement blocks and drop him into the ocean, he's dead. Because if he can't breathe, he can't regenerate. But I went through and I was doing it and making the realization of the bad part about making two female twins is that they're most likely going to be identical. So I need two Yelena Volovas because they are the only two that look Norwegian. And actually, I believe she is the woman who plays her is Norwegian. She might be Australian, but I think she's Norwegian. So I had to find two different Yelena Belovas, and one of which I definitely know I can't afford. right now. And Krya is going to be Vulcan, and Torrid is going to be Yohe from Black Panther. I can never remember how to say her name. I need to watch Black Panther again. Hell, I need to watch all of the movies again. And anybody who blames uh, Wakanda Forever writing when it comes to Wakanda Forever for being bad, no. The only reason that that movie would be considered bad is because of the fact that the star who played uh, Black Panther wasn't in it, and it's not like that can be helped considering the fact that he actually died. I have absolutely no problem with Siri becoming Black Panther because she was Black Panther in the comic books for a while. In fact, she currently is, and her brother is also Black Panther. They can both be Black Panthers. I just found a very interesting comic book cover wall poster. One side of Wolverine, you have Dogpool licking his face. On the other side, you have Deadpool trying to kiss him, and his claws are out pointing at Deadpool's throat. Yeah, the dog can get away with it, but you can't, Wade. Well, that's just the kind of sense of humor you have to expect involving Deadpool. She have a secondary head. No, she doesn't. That sucks. That body. Hydro Stomper. I really wish she wasn't so damn expensive. Hmm. Well, that sucks. Oh, there they are. Yes, there is a cat pool. In fact, he's appeared in the comics. There's also a spider cat. And technically, there's two dog pools. What? The dog pool or the cat pool? Oh, spider cat? Well, there's a universe that there is nothing but that the cats are the most advanced species on the planet, and though they don't even have opposable thumbs, somehow they've created human society style society on that planet. Pretty much, that's the feline verse. It's one of the really weird universes that is connected to the Marvel universe. I was surprised you weren't wondering about the two different dog pools. Yeah, and that's just why I did it. Unfortunately, Spider Cat got eaten by the inheritors, which was very depressing. Okay, so I can't order from UK. The second dog pool is from the same universe that Spider Ham is from. This is also the universe that has the Golden Retriever Captain America. I used to read Spider Ham as a kid. Fucking mouse. Gonna have to make supporting characters too. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Well, the truth is, Deadpool's variants we've actually seen more than Loki's variants, but Loki has some really cool variants. I mean, not even talking about the live action series variants. In the comic books, you have the alligator Loki that tries to eat the toad version of Thor. Um, and then you have uh, what was that? But the truth is, there's much better characters with much better variants. You know, the ones we've seen the most are Spider-Man and Deadpool, and we've seen quite a few Lokis and a couple of Thors and a couple of Iron Mans and a couple of Captain Americas. But when it comes to variants, there's there is more interesting ones out there. Like, for instance, Makari from What If. She's actually a variant of Danielle Moonstar from the X Men. And then you have the variants of Storm, who she's incredibly powerful in most universes, but she's also a vampire in some of the universes. Pretty much every Marvel character has at least an infinite number of variants. Marvel's never gone as far as DC with their variants, but honestly, Marvel also never completely destroyed their universe because there were too many variants. And when they did destroy their universe because of too many variants, it was for a story arc, and then they went, okay, we're still going to bring back all those variants. But after I got done watching What If, I decided to watch the color version of Werewolf by Night, which has one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters in it, Man Thing, also known as Ted. There's a character who has some interesting variants too. In the one universe that's all plants, he's a human. That's a surprise to see on here. Fortunately, it's the video game versions. Yeah. It's not Randy Savage. Okay, then. Bill making stuff has Barbarella playing in the background. Allison, you want to take that? Barbarella. It's probably one of the worst movies ever made. You know, Touched by an Angel would still be on TV if they had actually taken pointers from Barbarella. Hmm. I think that we need to change the word touched to another word. What little clothes they actually had her wearing. Effed by an Angel. The Angel decided to play Hide the Salami. Although I guess Hide the Flute would work. We're going to be Harpers. Hanky spanky. There's a worthless character. Yeah, I'd heard something about that. Well, I went for my obligated 1 hour. Kind of want to get off here and actually get back to work. Either that or fall asleep, which I'm trying to do right now, anyways. Must do something about my narcolepsy. So, if you girls are okay with it and the third person doesn't care, I think we'll call it a night. No, Allison, I will not be calling you tonight. I will call you tomorrow night. Well, actually, I might call you and talk to you for a little bit. So, I will see everybody Tuesday, which hopefully I will have come up with something to work on by then. Thinking about maybe making a building. Good night, ladies.